Okay,
against Benetton.
Okay,
as Lloyd Evans,
stay on.
the ever-present Lloyd Evans at 10 this season, gets us underway. Under the lights. And a chance to say good evening to my co-commentator, Philippa Tuttiett.
Yeah, good evening. Look, these
good crisp passing from the Dragons as they work it down the touchline. Here's Rosser. Rosser's dangerous, back inside. Oh, just doesn't manage to find Westwood yet. Dragons defence just swallowing up, and an interception. It's Joe Westwood. He looks up, he's got support if he needs it. He might not even need it. Lewis Liner in hot pursuit, but it's in vain as Joe Westwood slides over, touches down, and finally, after 26 minutes of pressure. And through it goes. 3 points for Benetton. 8 minutes can get themselves into the lead for half-time. They'll consider that a job well done. Here comes the rolling maul. Like the scrum that preceded it, it is moving forward at a rate of knots now. It's over the line. They've dropped onto the line. The referee's scrambling around to see if it's been grounded. And he decides that yes, it has. And as we approach half-time, Benetton, for the first time in this opening 40, find themselves in the lead. It looks as though it was the hooker.
They do, they certainly do. Right place at the right time, but equally, I was a winger and you couldn't pay me to be in the middle of that, so the hookers can have that all day long.
Are you bitter as a winger that hookers score all the tries these days? I know Shane Williams is.
Yeah, well, it's the change of the game, isn't it? A good show.
And just like he was with his earlier penalty attempt, Jacob Umaga is successful with that conversion, which stretches Benetton's lead to 3. Oh, and it's another handling error for the Dragons as the latest attack comes to an end. Rodrigo Martinez can't keep hold of the ball. And the whistle goes for the end of the half. Well, it's been tense. It's been claustrophobic at times. There have been some enormous hits in defence. But it's a try apiece between the Dragons and Benetton. The only difference between being that sole penalty from Jacob Umaga to the half-time score. A chip kick from Rio Dyer. And Williams bounced off his chest, and then he was knocked to the floor for good measure. Oh, and look at this. Avaka was the beneficiary as the ball fell into his arms, and he looked up to see no Dragons tacklers standing in his way. Dragons look shell-shocked. The fans look bewildered. And Benetton are delighted.
Well, they're certainly living off the scraps, aren't they? So it was the kicking battle here where the crowd are feeling quite aggrieved. It bounces off, and then there's the hit coming through. Personally, I think that player's committed to that hit anyway. But it was Benetton that reacted first to the bobbling ball, and they get the benefit.
Yeah.
He can't believe his luck, can he? Shrugs off the tackle of Lloyd Evans, and there's no one in front of him.
Yeah.
This is a great attacking opportunity for the Dragons. Brodie Coughlin goes long, too long, but into the hands of Lloyd Evans! And Lloyd Evans, well, it was an overthrow lineup, it was a mix-up, but boy did Lloyd Evans make the best of it. And in the blink of an eye, the Dragons have got one back. Smiles of delight from Lloyd Evans and his teammates. Roars of approval from the Rodney Parade crowd. And we have a game on our hands once again.
From a first half that was so tight and so nervy to now this second half, and these lapses of concentration are really opening things up. Massive overthrow then, but it didn't matter. Dragons
black and amber shirt replacing a Neirin Owen. One playmaker for another as Benetton sets up this rolling maul, and this one looks more promising. They're still going, they're on their feet. Desperate defence from the Dragons. It's just inches now for Benetton. They're 3 points ahead. Another score would take them 2 scores clear. Can the Dragons possibly plug those gaps? And the answer is no. Benetton crossed the line again for another try. And it was desperate.
Yeah, just splices between the two players there, doesn't he? You can see the majority of the forwards package orientated around to the right-hand side. It's good awareness by the forwards. They see then you're going in between.
So the extras are good. Thomas Albanose.
Crouch. Bang. Set. Advantage.
Well, there was a sense of inevitability about that. The advantage was being given, but it was a relentless march towards the Dragons' try line. And Lorenzo Canone in total control at the back of that scrum. Once it was over the line, all he had to do was pick up the ball. And the referee had warned that callow Dragons front row that the scrums had been solid until they'd come on, just adding an extra layer of pressure. And we said, Philippa, that it was a test for against the Sharks. They've bagged themselves the 4-try bonus points. That is the 4th try of the night, and Albanose just pushes that knife a little deeper in as the lead stretches now to 17.
No right.
Dragons getting ever so close now, right in the shadow of those posts. There's a wriggle, a reach. Benetton desperately defending, but surely that's over the line. The referee sticks his head in between the pile of bodies, and he is satisfied that ball has touched the ground. Not for the first time, the ref has to bury his head in a pile of bodies to see who's scored, and it's Shane Lewis-Hughes who comes up from this last home game in a run of 3. O'Brien goes blind, but that is a brilliant tackle from Malachi Fekitoa. Dumps him into touch, and there is the final whistle, and the Dragons, much to the dismay of Di Flanagan and all the supporters here tonight, will come away with nothing. They've had 3 consecutive home games at Rodney Parade. They targeted them all. They were in winning positions in them all, but ultimately they have lost all 3.